Hello, welcome to SCOOBYPUP'S PAWCAST. As you can see, we already have our two wonderful guests up on the screen. Ryan Roger Athe from Reality Based and Stu Penzo from StuPenzoCast.
Yep. How's it going?
So guys, Ryan, you first. Tell us what you do and everything else.
Well, I want to show something off if I can. Now, folks,
keep it in your pants.
No, not that. Not that. I'm not a trace. But in all seriousness, folks, I have a new camera now. So
I saw this.
It's a 4K camera. Cost about $200, and it moves around with me. There we go.
That's awesome.
There we go. And look, even if I was like, to hell with this show, I don't want to be here anymore. If I was of that mindset, never going to happen, folks. I love it when people invite me into places. But even if I was like, let's go. Let's go. It's not going to be on here anymore. Hey, camera, why are you following me? Stop following me, camera. See, I can pull a Melanie Mac and stand up and call you all satanic. Yeah, the volume isn't as good because, well, the camera's, the microphone's by there, but I can move around.
I feel like I'm watching Megan.
Just like that. So
dude, you should have just lied and said that you have a cameraman now.
Yeah, I have a party trick that no one else has yet, which is surprising. But it's great to be here. Yeah, I can dance, Caguana. That's a good idea. But sometimes, and I experienced this when I first used this damn thing, when I'm speaking or moving my hands or just moving about slightly, the camera slightly moves, and that can be a bit annoying even for me. But it's great to be here. Scooby Pup, good to see Stu Penzo live from a different location, but good to have him here. And fingers crossed we'll have a good show.
And Stu Penzo, tell us who you are, what you do.
I'm just a guy who likes to YouTube and watch terrible movies and joke about them and watch weird crap on the internet. But I'm currently in a hotel in Oklahoma visiting family, and I thought I was going to be driving back today, but we went back a day. We went there a day late. So
is that like Baldwin's finger with you?
No,
Oh,
no.
Good.
I've streamed with him a few times. He's nice.
That was a joke.
I know, Oklahoma. That trailer for that Rust movie's out now. I don't know. I guess we'll have to watch it. We'll have to watch that movie, I guess. But yeah, I'm currently in Tornado Alley. It is cold and windy as hell. It might snow later tonight. It's very weird. And then I got to drive back tomorrow. And hopefully I'll be on Sammy's show and do my own show at midnight. We're going to do another pool party special. And we watch a bunch of weird fanfic, Supergirl, simulated drowning, erotica films.
Yeah.
They're weird.
Yeah, I've been there for some of them.
Well, we're going to do a big marathon tomorrow. So we'll try to get through at least 10 of them, 8 of them maybe.
So we're going to kick this off. But first, I want to know something. And that is, Ryan, why are you doing this to yourself?
Money. People are giving me money. We hit the donation goals. I was supposed to play Dustborn, after the 3,000 subscriber milestone. We're at nearly 3,400. How I am still gaining support despite being extremely controversial. How I haven't been demonetized or struck yet is a miracle. When it's happened to Toasty, demonetization happened to Toasty. Of course, Hypno got a strike, so he can't make videos or live stream on YouTube for a week. But me, no, it must be the nose. There's no other reason.
He might be able to be on YouTube for a week, but he was pretty much slamming it on Rumble last night.
And that is the future, the Rumble Revolt or the Rumble Revolution or something with Rumble and an R in it. Rumble Reform. That is the way to go, folks.
Rumble Resurrections.
That too. I'm of the viewpoint, do as much as you can on main platforms first. Then when they get rid of you, it's like starting your creator journey again. You've learned so much on your journey, and you can go from there.
I saw you playing the game from some of these videos. I was like, why did he not learn from Atreus? Did he not learn from watching Hypnotic?
That would assume I watched those creators, but yeah. But in all seriousness, I know Atreus gave up in his playthrough of this game. In all honesty, I can't blame him for wearing all of that makeup and get up. As for Hypno, he pulled through. Yep, episode 2, Give Me Liberty or Give Me Cringe. Yeah, that was difficult. But the next episode, which will be next Saturday, will be Dungeons and Deserts. So
Dungeons and Deserts. Never. That's a good title.
For Dustborn, yeah, because we're going into the desert. But yeah. Yes, like the stream, please.
Yes, very, very, very much so. Well, what's your opinion on it so far?
It's an awful game. It's one of the worst games I've ever played by a country mile. On my first playthrough of it, during the first episode, only 3 people were playing it, and that included me on SteamDB. Second playthrough, that went up to 6, but that included me. So I'm carrying this game. I'm probably the only creator at this moment in time live streaming Dustborn, and that just goes to show how desperate the game is for any kind of attention. No, I'm not Dex. No.
I've heard a lot about the game, but I don't know anything about what it's about premise-wise.
It's essentially very simple. It is a road trip where you have sensitive information, you're on the run, and it's cringe. It's
pure
awful.
EI cringe. Pure.
It is the peak woke game.
Does it take place in the future or something, or what?
It takes place in an alternate future where JFK didn't get assassinated, and he ultimately became Hitler. Essentially, yes.
And all men are evil, and so forth, so on and so forth. You know the drill.
Yep. Jackie got shot instead of John, and he ended up marrying Marilyn Monroe.
That's awesome. I'm here for that future.
Who's still alive in that universe and is about 106. Think Madonna today.
Maradona.
Another thing we're gonna cover is I would love my producer to come on for this one.
Dude, that would be weird if Marilyn Monroe was like made it to old age. Yeah, she probably would have become a big botched plastic surgery nightmare after a while.
Yeah, Madonna, basically. And Scooby, my goodness, you want your producer to come on you? That's
Nah,
very
I would love for him to come onto the panel for this because he was mentioning Disney earlier in his
He's
home
eating.
stream.
He should do what I did, which is just eat off camera, kind of inhale a burger while you're on the show.
Or just do what Atreus does: munch, 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 munch.
So
well, that would mean that I couldn't be professional.
Or a showman.
That's what we call an entrance.
So you were mentioning Snow White, and you did mention Disney on your show previous to this. I mean, their stock.
Oh, the member show, yeah. So we're going to be covering that on the Starcast directly after.
Yeah, their stock. Oh my God.
Well, to be fair, a lot of stocks have taken a dip, but still.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think we can attribute
$3.54 per share.
I think we can attribute that most of this is because of the movie output that they've been having recently. I mean, you take a look at Snow White that came out, made very little compared to other live action remakes that it's done. Then, of course, you have actresses like Rachel Zegler in there who won't shut the hell up, causing problems for Disney. And we have more Star Wars stuff coming out for Disney than a lot of people already think Star Wars is dead. And in my opinion, I agree. But yeah, their Disney is tanking, especially in their park. They're going to have Universal Studios' Epic Universe to deal with.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Universal Studios has always been better than Disney. You know, you go to Disney and you're like, you know,
yeah,
depressing. Because like I remember we did Florida one year and went to the theme parks, and you know we got to do Disney World, Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, Disney Quest, which is the arcade that Disney owns. That was actually pretty dope. I don't think it's still a thing, but that was like $20 for like all these like free you can play arcades in like this huge like 3-story building. That was like the one thing we wanted to do twice. But yeah, Universal Studios versus Disney is like and honestly, I was more of a Six Flags guy because, you know, out here in Texas, we got Six Flags and, you know, it's like Superman and Bugs Bunny and all the Looney Tunes and stuff like Justice League. Like that stuff's cooler than Mickey Mouse and Goofy and all the Disney princesses. And yeah, Disney's just so overpriced, and you've got all this like ridiculous food that's like not worth it. And you realize like you're not actually happy when you're there. The happiest place on earth. You're only happy like in retrospect when you're thinking about it, when you're looking at the photos, you're like, I guess I did have a fun time. But when you're actually there in the moment, like this is not fun. There's too many people, and it's a nightmare.
It's a train wreck. The whole company's a train wreck, and the reason why is because they just have the money to blow. They don't care how much money they lose. They are old money. They have been established money. They have so many shadow investors in their pockets, and that's the problem. Well, they can flush $300 million a month and not break a sweat. Well, that is how big Disney.
To give you some facts and figures here, Mr. Stark, you know, head of the Avengers, as it were, Disney's market cap value in the span of 4 years has gone from a peak of $360 billion to $175 billion. So it's halved in 4 years. And given the state of, you know, market cap, you know, market capital, especially with all the tariffs, which is going to piss off a lot of people outside the US, less so inside, but a lot of people outside, that market cap is going to go down.
Fine. Yeah. They're going to have to start actually paying attention to money-making mechanisms again, because they only have about 18 months more that they could afford to flush their money. Then they're going to have to pull up their britches, stop shitting on everything, and get back to work.
Well, I mean, John Hammond, spared no expense.
Spend
Did they not learn anything from that movie? Like, like John Hammond lost everything, like sometimes you can't just throw money at all your problems,
Yeah, and also you take a look at their parks. They've had a lot of problems with their parks. Rides that don't work, new rides that don't work.
Disney princesses with 5 o'clock shadow.
That is very much true. They're allowing men to dress up as the Disney princesses. They've had lawsuits, one of which was an employee taking pictures of girls under their skirts.
Oh,
wow. There was one last year. There was this one incident where I've mentioned this before, Ryan, where a light pole fell in the park, killed a guy's wife. He tried to sue them, and they said, well, he's a member of Disney Plus, therefore he has no grounds to sue us.
No, that woman died of like a deadly peanut allergy, but same thing.
It was the peanut allergy that they were able to weasel themselves out of.
So they said, oh, it's not our fault. He's a member of Disney Plus anyway, so he can't sue us. And the judge, threw that out. They said, no, that doesn't work, Disney. Sorry.
Could you imagine the precedent that would have set, though? If you have ever been a member of Reality Based, guess what? We have legal immunity if we kill you.
That would have been awesome, actually, if they were found non-liable, because you would have seen people like by the hundreds of thousands like not subscribed. But that's the thing. I guess it doesn't matter, because they were saying she was running on a trial membership. She was no longer even a member of Disney Plus. So like just the fact that you've ever been a member of Disney Plus means they have the right to murder you. It's hilarious.
They can sell self-delete booths to their customers and make money that way. They can put their company in there too.
It's true. The other thing about Disney is like you get on the rides, the old rides, and you realize like, yeah, that is not as fun as I remember it to be, or as I heard it was going to be.
Yeah,
Splash Mountain sucks.
Yeah, especially when they updated. There have been several times I've gone to Disneyland. Every time they put out a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, they update the Pirates of the Caribbean ride to match the movie. And when I went on it one time, I was like, oh my God, I don't recognize this ride anymore, and it sucks now. I hate it. Get me off the damn ride. I couldn't wait for the boat to dock faster. And then, of course, you have Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which took over Splash Mountain. They're still trying to get that damn thing to work.
That's funny. I remember one time I went to like a carnival. It was like one of those like pop-up carnivals, circus thing. And they had all the rides that cost, like each ride costs money. And it's like we had a couple extra tickets, and it's like, all right, let's do this haunted house ride. And it was like me and my friend, and I remember it was like we did the whole haunted house ride. It was so lame and boring. And then I remember we come out of it, in our little cart, and we were just making this face of like total disappointment to where the carnival guy was like, I'll let you guys go on it a second time for free if you want. And we were like, no, we're fine.
Yeah, I've seen Final Destination enough times to know where this is going, buddy. Bye.
At least Final Destination was like a cool roller coaster. And that's the other thing, like Splash Mountain, it basically like, you go on a little like floating log, and then you go up a hill, and then you go down. It's like you go to Six Flags, they have that Superman Krypton ride in Astro World where you're like, your feet are like dangling, you're like free hanging. It's like spinning you around and going up loops and shit. It's crazy.
I love Six Flags. Six Flags is one of my favorite places to go.
Six Flags is like not big enough to where it's big enough to where you can have a full day going there. And but it's like if you go in September when school starts, like you can hit up every ride, in a day and then some.
One of my favorite times to go to Six Flags is Halloween.
Oh yeah.
I remember I pre-ordered Resident Evil 6, and because I pre-ordered it, I got a free ticket in for the Fright Fest. And so I grabbed one of my friends. I used my free ticket, and then I bought her a ticket, and we went there for Fright Fest, and we had a blast. Who says that gaming doesn't have, doesn't have its ups and downs,
Oh, no. Thank you.
That was probably the one time that I was glad I pre-ordered something.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal too, because like you give people free tickets to something like that. It's like you have to be at Six Flags and you have to be going on a certain time frame. So there's a chance that you'll have a lot of people like buy the thing early and they don't even redeem the prize. So
Right.
that's like actually a great idea.
It's a name of a theme park you don't want to get wrong. Six Flags, ladies and gentlemen. It's a term that could easily be bloopered. Let's just say
Flags.
That. Yeah, let's not go to the gay version now, shall we?
Oh, but no, I was thinking Sex Flags.
Oh, no, I was thinking of the other term that will get you hypnoed or toasty.
Well, that's just gay.
Oh, yeah. So, also we got the Avengers Doomsday coming out. Now, I've seen a few clips of that already, and there's a few clips that already show Spider-Man in it.
It's AI. It hasn't even started shooting it.
No, I'm talking about clips. I mean, like background shots.
It's possible that I know there was some concept art that leaked.
Like, I saw one background shot of. I really should have kept the picture for it. Of Robert Downey Jr. holding Spider-Man by the shoulders.
Ooh, are they getting close? Are they cuddling?
So instead of
he looked pretty damn beat up.
So instead of Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, it's Doctor Doom kills the Marvel Universe.
Not wrong.
Doomsday.
I don't know. I would, if anybody's going to kill the Marvel Universe, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I would probably prefer it would be Deadpool.
Simply because it's one of the best Deadpool comic series runs of all time.
Yeah, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. It's
Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Even kills the writers and the illustrators. So like he does.
He kills them all.
Yeah,
I love it. And then of course we have Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Can you repeat that, Scooby Pup? It was a great Scooby Pup.
Next year.
Can you repeat that. You were roboting.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. It comes out next year. And I don't know about you, but I don't like the title.
No. If they're going to make an Asian protagonist as Spider-Man, they should call it Spider-Man Rising Sun. I know it's like the laziest thing you can do for a Japanese thing, just add Rising Sun. But let's face it, Assassin's Creed Shadows would have been far better if it was Assassin's Creed Rising Sun.
That title, I saw the title, and the first thing that came to my mind was Captain America.
Oh Lord!
Brand new,
Brave New World.
Yeah, Brave New World or whatever. I saw
that movie.
No, I was like, I saw this. I was like, no. It's the title is too close to even take the movie seriously.
That movie inspired me to write a parody song making fun of it, as well as continue my Thanos lore on my channel. I sent Thanos to watch Brave New World, and he was so upset with it that he wants to get the Infinity Stones and balance Disney. And so now we have this overarching bit with Thanos on a new quest. Miss Sparkles is actually the keeper of the Space Stone.
Miss Sparkles, I love your title.
Yeah.
Wonder where the Space Stone is. But what is a brand new day other than a rising sun?
Brand New Day is basically, it's supposed to represent, because I don't know if you saw Spider-Man No Way Home, but essentially he gets rid of all of the old costumes. He becomes his own person by the end of the No Way Home movie. He becomes his own person. And this movie is supposed to represent a whole brand new start for Spider-Man's life. Personally, and they have Zendaya in it, and I personally don't see how Zendaya can be in it. They're also bringing back the guy who played Ned
Of course.
Oh, I
But
honestly
everybody
don't
forgot
think
he was Spider-Man. The whole stipulation at the end of
Yeah, it's like, what's the point of having her come in as Mary Jane? She doesn't
because
even
they're going to
remember
have him simp over her from a distance. They're going to
And they
have
are
him
getting
stalk her
married,
like
so.
George McFly did, you know.
But they
you
already
know,
confirmed
Bernie
that
Mac.
Gwen Stacy's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Maybe Wong's kid, because Asians look alike, can finally get some bang ho.
You know what, guys, give it to him.
And his name for her will be Me Bang Ho.
But yeah, the name for it just doesn't work. The name for it doesn't work. I'm
I
sorry.
thought they'd stick with the home thing, like Spider-Man Home Sweet Home, Spider-Man Home for the Holidays, Spider-Man Homeward Bound,
Spider-Man Go Ho,
Spider-Man Home Run.
Hey, for once, Spider-Man Go Ho.
But I do love Stupendo is onto something. Keeping the home.
I mean, it's not important, but I don't know.
Spider-Man travels abroad, and it's not Mary Jane.
Well, I mean, like he already did. Like they already did a movie where he travels abroad, and guess what? Guess what they called that? Far From Home.
Spider-Man No Homo. There you go. There's your title.
Spider-Man Zendaya's home. Get in the kitchen.
But I mean, and I know Brand New Day is a legit comic.
They'll change that title, I bet.
They will. It just is. It's so
because
it's
Brave New World. Yeah,
It's
Brave New World was supposed to be New World Order, which is an actual comic.
Mhm.
And
and Brand New Day was an actual comic run for Spider-Man.
Yeah, but of course they changed, Captain America, New World Order to Brave New World. And, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's not testing well, Brand New Day. The thing about Disney right now is they're looking at everything under a microscope because they are realizing, like, they're not on top of things and they're getting a lot of pushback. So, like, they're going to be overanalyzing a lot of stuff like, oh, Brand New Day is not testing well. We got to change it. Like, I heard they pulled the Tangled live action completely from development because of Snow White's performance, and it's just like, yeah, they're definitely like restructuring and reanalyzing everything and trying to pick up the pieces.
The thing is, though, is that for New World Order, didn't they change it because of political reasons or something?
Yeah.
It was far too on the nose. They might as well have just called it Captain America 1984 at that point. You could have made a trilogy. I always bring this up, but you could have made a trilogy called Captain America 1984, Captain America Captain America New World Order, and then Captain America Brave New World, and make a trilogy of it. Get timey-wimey during your multiverse saga with 1984.
Well, if they did Captain America 1984, then really nobody ever would have shown up. I mean, look what happened with Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh my God! Listen, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. I am sick of multiverse. I am sick of time travel. I'm sick of both of it.
I mean, that was kind of the thing about the
so
Deadpool Wolverine movie. It
overused.
was kind of like, hey, this is gonna be the last of the this whole fad.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is that after Spider-Man Brand New Day, he still has 2 more movies.
Of course. That was the whole point of hiring a young actor like Tom Holland to play Spider-Man, is he could play Spider-Man for a good 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be Rick and Morty, so Rick and Morty don't even want to be Rick and Morty anymore. Oh, jeez.
And then, of course, as I mentioned before, there's Avengers Doomsday, where he's supposed to make an appearance in it, as well as quite a few others.
Now, this is what I've gathered from Doomsday. Apparently, the Fantastic Four, the original X-Men cast, and what's left of the Avengers / Thunderbolts or whatever, are all basically going to be fighting Doctor Doom, who looks a lot like me, in a last-ditch effort to try and recreate the gravity that Thanos had 5 years ago. It's not happening.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's such a cheap, stupid. I thought the whole point was like we're gonna get new X-Men and recast them.
Yeah,
and hopefully, and not, I like Wolverine, but like, let's not have Wolverine this one time. Let's focus on the core 5 players from the original X-Men: Archangel, Beast, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman. Like,
and they're all. Sorry to tell you, Stupenzo, but it's a good job Hugh Jackman was in that lineup, because most of that cast is going to die in that film.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
Yep.
They're
basically going, "Hey, we wanted to be like Thanos. How many of these guys can we write off?"
But also, like, putting like Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, like that idea of having them come back as Magneto and Professor X was all right 10 years ago. I don't know if you guys have seen Ian McKellen lately. He's freaking old.
It's like, how many times has Professor X died in Marvel?
He's died
Marvel or either Fox-based Marvel films.
Be the 4th time.
You're in this, you're gonna die. Okay, Magneto's in this, he's gonna die. Basically, most of that cast list, they should have put Brie Larson in this, and everyone would have gone, "Yay!" It's Doctor Who, not Doctor Who. I wish Doctor Doom just crushes.
Even Doctor Who, they would have screwed up if they put him in the movie. But yeah, and then of course, we got Secret Wars, which is still coming up, and I mean, even then, they got to do Avengers Doomsday just right to the point where that it'll match up with Secret Wars.
What happened with the whole Kang thing? Like, wasn't that supposed to be
they got rid of him?
Decided to reveal that he likes to, to put
hang
it
out in the back.
Macaho, and as a result.
Well, as far as I remember, Stupenzo, I thought it was supposed to be Secret Wars first, then Doomsday, from my recollection. However, of course, they threw Jonathan Majors under the bus over mere allegations. Disney, this ain't the 1950s. You can't treat black men like that anymore.
Even if he was guilty, just fucking recast him like you did Don Cheadle or many other people.
You see, Stupenzo, Disney don't like recasting black men. They're either dead or thrown under a bus.
Terrence Howard was recast as Don Cheadle early on. Nobody gave a shit.
That
wasn't a Disney studio at that point.
Oh, right.
Sorry to be anal about that, but that wasn't Disney.
It was Columbia.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. As far as like, Doomsday, it seems not only this is like a Hail Mary for Disney and Marvel, the MCU, it's also like a Hail Mary for the Russo brothers, because like they're just like, first of all, who are they? Apparently they did episodes of Arrested Development or something. What were they?
The Russos were the guys behind Winter Soldier.
No, right, before the Marvel stuff. Like, what did they do before that?
They did some army movie with Tom Holland. Apparently, they're very familiar with him. They've worked with him before.
I heard they were involved in one of the dumb sitcoms, like 30 Rock or something, or Parks and Rec, something weird. And it's like,
there were 2 of them, so that means twice the amount of getting on their knees to get ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like when they directed the first those Avenger movies and Winter Soldier, it's like, who are the Russo brothers? Like, who are these guys? They seem to know what they're doing with this Marvel stuff. And that's the thing is about the Marvel stuff. MCU, when you think about post Endgame, I think I've watched maybe like 5, like a handful of the Marvel projects since Endgame, and that's counting all the Disney shows, all the movies that have come out. I watched, like, what did I watch? I watched, I think, the Marvels. Like, ironically, I watched Deadpool versus Wolverine, the Spider-Man movies.
Okay, so this is what they're responsible for. 1997 movie Pieces. Another movie called Welcome to Collinwood. You, Me, and Dupree. Captain America, Winter Soldier. Captain America, Civil War. Infinity War, Endgame. Cherry. The Gray Man. Electric Slate, Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, but when you look at those 3 projects that are post Endgame, it's like their movies, like, they're not doing good. And so that's the other thing. It's like, I feel like, people were thinking, oh my God, they're like so desperate. They're begging the Russos to come back. It's like, no, the Russos they need a hit. They need another hit. And if they don't get it, like, I don't think they're going to be, because like the Gray Man was a flop and nobody liked it. And that Electric State movie came out, it made me feel nothing. And it's a shame because the book it's based off of is really cool.
Yeah, the book, because it wasn't an Electric
State. Producer work, they have.
Yeah.
As for the producer work, they have The Bluff, Extraction 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow.
They produced Extraction, yeah.
Extraction again, 21 Bridges, Mosul, and yeah, that's it. That's all they have under their collar.
Weird.
Their knees must be very talented, and their throats.
Oh God.
I know that's a controversial thing to say, folks, but we all know what happens behind closed doors. We all know what happens when these personalities get together, which is why I hope and pray that we fellow creators do not follow suit under that mindset. Fingers crossed.
Okay, I figured it out. They were producers of and directors of bunch of episodes of Arrested Development. But like, that's the thing. It's like I don't know. I guess everyone's got to start somewhere, but
under the table.
When you see Arrested Development,
my camera.
Yeah. When you see Arrested Development, you don't think, oh, this guy should be making big time action films, when you watch like old Michael Bay music videos before he started making movies like Bad Boys, like, the Michael Bay music videos, you should look him up. He's done some music videos for some very big bands back in the 80s and 90s, and they all look awesome. They're very cinematic, and it's like, oh, dude, imagine if this guy directed a movie, an action movie. Yeah, and that's why like the first Bad Boys and some of the other early ones he did, they have this like very distinct Michael Bay look to them, and they're very awesome looking. I mean, the first Bad Boys is like, it's got such a great like look to it. And these Russo movies, man, they're so bland when you're talking about photography wise. They just all have muted colors and low contrast, and it's spread to like all these movies. I mean, I understand the idea, like we wanted all the more Marvel movies to be cohesive visually, but it's like that means basically like nothing. Nobody can take any risks. Nobody can do anything out there or try anything new or test the limits a little bit. It all has to look very like factory made. And that was fine those first dozen or so movies. But now we're like looking into 30, 40 movies down the line, and it's like, it's stale. It's getting so stale.
I mean, when you think about it, the Russo brothers, the only person I can compare the Russo brothers to would be, like you said, everybody has been asking for the Russo brothers to come back. They look to the Russo brothers to make the MCU look good again. The only other person I can think of that people do that to is Filoni in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I want to read this chat. Porn star JR says, damn, the first thing I heard when I clicked on this was talking about knees and throat. With a name like that, are you sure it isn't selective hearing?
Yeah, get your head out of the gutter.
I'm sorry to say, but
welcome. We're being funny.
I dare say everyone on this panel is a gooner, because Crusaders, they're Stupenzo's a Crusader, is he?
No. We are everybody here is everybody here is very much. Everybody here is very much a gooner. Here is some proof. Like I said, we're gooners.
Was she even wearing panties in that last shot there?
Time to go to Saudi Arabia, where they don't let women drive.
That's actually from the game First Descendant.
Yeah,
no, I realized that, but it looked like she was just showing a shaved her shaved hoo-ha at the end of there.
Best movie is Tank Girl, according to STSG.
Tank Girl's a great movie. Especially,
Love
you
Tank
know,
Girl.
it was like early on in that whole Burning Man aesthetic that was kind of new at the time. That like desert rave. It's very inspired by that. And also one of my favorite things about Tank Girl, and this is something that like other movies can take a note from, is like to save budget, to save a lot of money. Like instead of like building these cool sets and these dystopian wastelands, they would literally just show like a shot of like one of the panels from the comic book. They'd be like at the evil lair, and it would be the comic book page, like straight from the comic book. And then, you know, then we go into the set, and it's like, you know, it's such a cheap workaround, and it's very effective and fun.
Yeah,
and it just adds this great like vibe to it.
Storyboarding. It's literally storyboarding with something that is a storyboard, which is a comic book.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to blow a bunch of money building all these crazy sets or doing a bunch of computer animation. Like when they do the big, the actual big tank fight at the end of it, a lot of it is like just artwork from the comics, which is awesome.
Well, that's better than filming on location at or near a war zone. You know, pay both sides to stop fighting, and then use the background war zone to do your fights. Imagine if they did that with Avengers.
That would be awesome, actually. If a movie did that, I would go see it for sure.
This we understand that you're having a bit of a spat between your two nations, but if we would
you like some money in exchange for a few days off killing each other while we use your set, and maybe some of your people on both sides can be extras for one side or the other.
This movie put a pause on the Ukrainian-Russian conflict for 50 days. Everyone would go see it.
Fire happened.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of like dark colors and stuff, you mentioned the dark colors, and when it comes to some of the most recent movies, a lot of the Disney color palettes actually have been pretty dim. You got Snow White, Spider-Man, Avengers, Doomsday. Those are all been having dark color palettes recently. All the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, like Snow White's her like it's like this off turquoise, like kind of greenish color. Like her outfit's supposed to be like bright blue and yellow.
It looked like Battlefield.
Bright blue, bright yellow. And she's also supposed to have longer hair, not look like Lord Farquaad.
When I saw the color palette for because I watched it. Now I also watched it at a lower quality because I went down through the Strait of Magellan to get it. But it reminded me of Battlefield Earth, like with the way those colors were muted. You know,
Battlefield Earth is a lot of color filters.
Dutch angles. Dutch angles to happen at any point. Like it was just that the film is not appeasing to the eye. It's not appeasing to the ear.
Yeah, the color choices I think are mainly because of the background stuff that they use, and that bold bright colors would affect their background effects. You saw this a lot in Avengers Endgame, especially the battle scenes. It had to be, you know, much more dark and gritty in terms of color layout because of the background effects. It's all style, no substance. It was the character acting and the people actually engaged in that set that carried all of those scenes, because I think most of that was practical, apart from the creatures.
The other thing is like let's see, it's like you've got I see the Snow White movie and they go to the haunted woods and it's all like computer animated. It's like, why couldn't you just film it in a fucking forest? Like how would that be way cheaper and better looking?
Like I remember when Snow White was first announced, people were, you know, like first giving it such heavy criticism. I remember the Daily Wire decided to make their own version and cast Brett Cooper as Snow White. And a lot of people were saying, you know what, why didn't you cast Brett Cooper as Snow White? She's, you know, very, very pale. She's Irish. And she's also an actress.
Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen. Mainly because of the fact that the Daily Wire is in the process of pooping out its own insides mainly because of financial mismanagement from a guy with a massive nose. But that's beside the point. Thankfully, Brett Cooper is doing her own thing. She's doing very well. She's resonating with people. She recently endorsed that too. She recently endorsed Kata, which is fantastic.
She's going to be on Circle of Jerks tonight.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent. That is absolutely incredible. And hopefully Zax can capitalize on that and things get bigger and better for everyone involved. See what can be done, folks, when we all hang together and not try and kill each other.
Yeah,
my Circle of Jerks.
Ryan, that was so uncharacteristically sappy of you that I was literally dumbfounded. Like, do I play a button? Do I not play a button?
I was wholesome at one point, Tony. I told you, I got radicalized by Hypno and has regretted it ever since.
Okay.
I think Hypno's responsible for doing that to a lot of us.
No, it was the Squirrel Girl and the Last Jedi for me, you know.
It was Transformers 2016 for me. Whenever they started wokeifying Transformers and IDWs, when I started getting pissed.
Oh, for me, it was when Alex Jones was on BBC One on a politics show. Yeah,
I don't even remember when it was for me. It's been too long.
It's been a long.
It's been 84 years.
And I still love that man I had a one-night stand with instead of the guy that gave me $250 million diamond.
What happens when you have that good dick, bro, like Leo does?
I'm not gonna ask any questions there.
No, but if they made Titanic today, they'd race swap the character.
Oh, yeah, I'm just like a kindly old black folk find my way on the ship.
We definitely was on a luxury liner. It was true.
You dare defy a law of fiancé, our marriage agreement with the colored? Yeah,
Ryan is definitely trying to anger Skynet right now, folks.
Not only was he like one of the black dudes on the ship and he survived, but also he was trying to warn the captain about the icebergs, you know, and to be careful. You know, that's what they would do.
And in the end, he drowns the woman.
There you go.
2 words: Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
That movie
They'll never
would
make
not
another
be
movie
made
like that.
today.
The sheriff is near.
Get your gun.
No, the sheriff is a ding.
He said the sheriff's near.
No,
what in the wide world of sports? What in the wide world of sports? Dude, your camera's amazing.
What in the wacky wild world of sports was that? I can find out.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I gotta go and laugh some more. I'll be right back.
That's good to laugh.
But oh no, I can't because my camera will follow me.
That's because it's following every step you're making.
Sentient mode activated.
I swear to God, it's like watching Megan again. Very end of the movie when the camera's following the girl everywhere.
Sentry.
I didn't do it, folks. I didn't do it. Cancel him. Don't cancel me. Cancel him. I just said a word that everyone used at one point.
What?
This guy?
word?
Oh, please carry on, Scooby.
Hail and Skull, Valkyria Winter, Skull to you.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Stupenza, you just guaranteed yourself a spot on Reality Based because no one's having you on their show now.
I didn't say the N-word, if that's what you're thinking. I've said it before, but I didn't say it just now.
That's Brian's thing. That saying the N-word, that's
I
Ryan's
have
thing.
never said that. Woods has said that like 5 times.
He says it with an A though. It doesn't count.
Yeah,
I say it with hard R all the time.
He doesn't do it with the hard R. No, he does it with the A.
Oh.
Yeah. Guys, it's just a word, okay? Context is all that matters, you know?
After all, what is it, Ryan? What is it Hypno and them call you? The Klansmen?
That's because they radicalized me and used me as a bullet.
Hey, this is Howard Stern, and we're going to say a word right now.
Is there like a sponsorship Tony can read out to tangent this?
God.
Well,
Hey,
I call Ryan. I think Ryan's nickname should be Spear Chucker Studios because that's just like his.
Oh no, you're gonna get canceled for saying that. People are gonna be like, "Oh, you're a bad person."
Warn the producer next time. We'll get the censors.
Stupenzo,
Ryan Roger Athe, Chucker Studios. Okay,
Stupenzo, at the very least, people will just ease you out from everything. So don't say it for your own sake, please.
Not Stupenzo. Just Stupenzo's always welcome on podcasts. You know what? He's the one responsible.
You guys clearly aren't watching my Wii watches because I say some pretty insane shit on those movie covers.
Oh, especially when it's Quiplash time.
Oh yeah,
Then everybody gets to say some insane.
Quiplash is horrific, man. Quiplash is another level. When we play Quiplash
you
on my
guys really
show,
need to check out Stupenzo's stuff. It is awesome. He's actually responsible for the intro for a podcast. He did the song and he did the music video.
I still need to get you the Alistar clip. I need to re-record that for you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I like to be funny. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, some of those movies you watch, though, they.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing is you can say whatever offensive shit you can as long as it's not mean spirited. You know, if you're just here having a laugh, who cares? You know, if it's coming from a place of love where I just want people to laugh, it's fine. You know.
Now, I hope this topic does not get me in trouble.
Well, I've only got about 8.5 minutes. What's the worst I can do?
This is you we're talking about.
Oh,
this one.
Yeah.
No.
Too pricey. Yeah.
Yes,
you guys think it's too pricey?
Yes, absolutely. I know this is going to be like one of the topics of the day on SNH in regards to the price of the Switch 2, $450. The tariff thing, I think, is just a big distraction. The idea of like $80, $90 games, and folks, if you use inflation as an argument, fantastic. Yeah, yeah, go on inflation. But cost of living crisis is a big issue. And since the Switch is supposed to directly appeal to younger people, then it's like, no way, man. No way a parents in this economy on both sides of the pond of the Atlantic are going to pay for that or more for more than one person, right? I could see this being like one for a whole family and then like handheld ones for the kiddos, but no, not at $450, and it could go up to $650, $700 if the tariff thing is something of substance. Trump has a habit of, you know, like baiting and switching his opposition. It's very effective.
Yeah,
but
let's say the tariffs are making everything more expensive. I mean, let's say inflation is making everything more expensive, and it's going to stay more expensive. The thing is, like, if we're getting less, less income taxes or no income taxes, the idea theoretically, like, I mean, obviously everyone wishes video game systems are always about $300 and games are always about $60 to $80. That's how it's been for a while. I think a few decades now. The idea of everything making this price jump is, obviously nobody likes that. But assuming two things: B, I think people are going to have more money in their pockets to burn anyway, and C, and A. I guess the first one was A. Second one is B. B would be this idea that the games are getting longer. They're getting more involved to create. These huge teams and huge years of development making these bigger games. These games have way more playable hours in the story mode, which is insane. But on top of that, with Nintendo, the thing about Nintendo, like, you try to get an N64 copy of Super Smash Brothers or Mario Kart or any of the Mario Party games on N64. Those are all going to be at least $100 because of the replayability factor of those games.
Yeah, and like the original Nintendo console and Super Nintendo. I was talking to Cult Classic Cage about this the other day, as well as Will of the Fans. Their games back then, were always roughly around 80 to 90 because back then, the games that you were getting were complete and full games, no DLC or anything like that. You were getting a full, complete game, but then again, you were also paying for the cartridge, the motherboard that was inside the cartridge.
You get that cool little instruction manual,
Yeah. So you were paying the money for the complete full game and then some. Now, however, they're charging you $70 some for, in some cases, a complete game, but then you got to pay for the then you got to do the DLCs.
They have to fix all the bugs. They have to fix all the bugs. Like, why do you have to buy? Like, buying a game that's brand new is stupid because it's going to be wonky and broken.
And as far as handhelds go, there is going to be Nintendo is coming out with a Switch handheld that you can carry around all over, and they didn't mention that.
Well, here's what's really crazy. I have two NES systems, two original Nintendo systems with games. I have an N64. They all still work.
Yep.
And like they're plugged in, ready to go. I play them occasionally. I can
plug in my Super Nintendo today.
It still works.
On Donkey Kong Country and that iconic da-da-da, 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 da-da-da.
My PlayStation 1, my PlayStation 2, those things are kaput.
It's just I mean, for Nintendo to be the first company to spearhead this, I thought it would have been epic, personally, because they have a history of price gouging. But for Nintendo to be the first to spearhead this move gives GTA 6 the obvious excuse to go to $100, and that sets a trend because GTA 6 is going to sell, folks. Okay. And then by 2027, $100 games will be a standard for the United States.
But looking back, if GTA 5 was $100 then, it still would have been worth it. Like how many hundreds and hundreds of thousands, how many thousands of hours did people put into Grand Theft Auto?
Pelosi, I still have an old Woody too.
Well, if
technically Grand Theft Auto could probably get away with charging $150.
Well, it's not the game itself.
You could go into any comic book store.
I think Atreus made the point that if the game was for sale at $200, then folks in his community would still buy the game. I mean, the idea of Rockstar taking that risk, if they had took the $100 risk in 2012, 2013, that could have set an industry trend, and we'd be in a far worse position now.
Yeah, totally.
But to me, for Nintendo to do this, there will be a backlash, and it will sell less than the original Switch.
The big problem with Nintendo is it is primarily like kids. It's when a kid wants to, hey, I want money for a video game. I want video, like everything that a kid wanted back in the 90s was like $20 or under.
Yeah.
The idea that like
$30. Sorry, gotta go now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Do you want to plug anything before you head, pal?
Well, I will be on Levistro's birthday stream, which will be live in a few minutes. I'll be on there for a solid hour, just like I was on here for a solid hour. Then I'll be on Hypno's SNH as a Rumble exclusive. I'll have to get there early, because that's the only chance I'll have to get my foot in the door. We're not going to have one, but two special guests. Hopefully they share the same camera. Otherwise, there are going to be less spots. The Jewel Shot crew, I don't know their names off the top of my head. Fun fact, though, the last time a couple was on SNH, they got divorced. They came on one at a time. What were they? The pistol couple. They loved guns or something. A few months after they both came on, I think the husband first, then the wife later, they got divorced. So hopefully that precedent does not continue. But thank you very much for having me on, guys. Thank you, Scooby. Thank you, Tony. Great to see Stupenzo as well, and hopefully there's a next time. Fingers crossed. Bye for now, folks. Enjoy the show.
Say hi to the dragon for me.
What a weird thing to put in the air there about that couple getting divorced. Now I'm kind of hoping that happens. That'd be funny.
Oh my god. But yeah, this is primarily a family console.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, like, when I go play, I remember like last few times I've gone on the road with the band, my fucking bass player brings the Switch and like the bass player, the guitar player are just spending most of the time in the backseat just playing Mario Party, and it's fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. Mario Party, the N64 Mario Party games, all of them, they're so addicting. They have so much replayability factor, and then playing them on the Switch, you know, it was like riding a bicycle. Basically, it was like no big deal. And yeah, it's a fun game for sure. It's just hours of passing time. Whereas like, you know, more of these story driven games like The Last of Us, the first Last of Us game, it's a great game. I played it twice, but I don't really have the, you know, maybe once in a few years, I'll be like, all right, maybe I'll play through that game again. Whereas like Mario Party and, you know, these Mario Kart games and Super Smash Brothers, like these games, like there's really no end goal here. It's like, yeah, you beat the game, but like there's so many, it's just such a replayability thing, you know, it just never gets old. It's freaky.
The one thing,
go ahead.
Sorry, continue.
No, it's just basically, it's just no different from those stupid Candy Crush games. You know, they're just addicting.
Yeah. It's the one thing that annoys me about the pricing that they came up with is, if one console can get away with it, then the other consoles are going to see it and they're going to say, oh, they can get away with it. We can get away with it too. What happens? Game prices go up. System prices go up again.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably going to be, the problem would be someone thinking like if PlayStation 5, is that where we're at now? We have PlayStation 5?
We're on the
Yeah, PlayStation 5 was like, you know, we're going to start charging more for these games. These are much more complicated, bigger games for the most part, you know, in terms of graphics and time spent playing the story mode and everything. So the idea is like, oh, okay, Nintendo should technically cost less because some of these games are not as advanced. But like the problem with Nintendo charging this much is like, it wouldn't be surprising if like, yeah, other systems like PlayStation people are like, oh, well, if they're going to charge $90 a game, we should probably charge 120. You know, we should probably charge, you know, and the thing is like something like Grand Theft Auto 6, you know, art is worth whatever people want to value it. And if they started charging $200 for Grand Theft Auto 6, I think people would pay for that. But if you charged $200 for just every fucking game, I don't think people would pay for that. People don't care. There's many, many games that are terrible. And they're, like you said, they're broken, buggy messes, and they're boring. And they have this like, you beat them once and you have no inclination to play them ever again. Those games should still be worth $50. You know, like I don't care how many people. If you know, you just need to start using less people to make them and lower your budget on producing them. Yeah. Because if the game's not fun, it's just not worth that money. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Like the price of everything's going to go up. I think the economy is going to hurt a lot more before it gets better. You know, they're definitely crashing the economy on purpose. We have to get off of this Federal Reserve private West Central Bank. We have to go back to a nationally, like a gold-backed national currency, get rid of the Federal Reserve, start using the Treasury Department. And in order to do that, we have to literally self-implode the stock market. We have to implode the what we call the Federal Reserve, the Central West
Federal Reserve. Yeah. That not to go into too deep into tin hat territory, but Federal Reserve is. There's only one or two nations in the entire scope of the planet that don't have an IOU notice to the Federal Reserve.
Right, and the Federal Reserve, you think is a government entity? It isn't. It's a private corporation that loans us our own money with interest. So it's a system designed to fail. And you know, like I said, this is all getting brought down by design. So yeah, it's going to be hurting when we're trying to get our stupid Nintendo Switches. You know, but I think by next year or definitely the year after that, like it's like none of this is gonna matter, you know, like we're gonna be, I think, economy wise, assuming the New World Order doesn't get their way, I think we're gonna be doing pretty well financially, all of us.
And not only that is they're pulling a PlayStation 5, and that is, as far as games go, they're bringing over a whole bunch of ports, but we're seeing very little in terms of brand new games that are strictly, you know, for them.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. It's like the PlayStation 5 came out, what, a couple years ago? A few years ago?
Yep.
And it's like, do we really have a whole lot of games for that system?
No.
Because I know that's like when you get it.
When
you get a new system, it takes a while.
Yeah, most of the games I play on my PS5 are PS4 games.
Okay.
That should say something. I mean, PS5 does not really have a lot of games. Most of my games that I end up playing on the PS5 are games that you would find on the PS4.
Yep.
So it's and from what I saw from Nintendo Direct when I streamed it, what I noticed was just a hell of a lot of ports at a very high price. Ports that where you can get the original games on the other systems for less. And
I just think it's a lot harder to ask your mom and dad for, $100 for a video game,
Yeah, and they said themselves, and during the Direct, they said, you can get this on the regular Switch too. On the regular Switch. Okay, well then you can get this on the regular Switch, then why buy the Switch too?
See, this is a reason why whenever I do a gaming series, it's, with a game that's, at least 10 years old or older. Then speaking of which, Dawn of War, my Warhammer 40K storytelling and gaming campaigns off to the races. We're doing a Steel Legion campaign, and it's doing quite well over there. So,
because I mean, if I had a choice,
these new games that cost hundreds of dollars, we ain't got that money.
If I had a choice between a Steam Deck and a Switch, I'd definitely go for the Steam Deck. I mean, I know the Steam Deck is pricier, but at least you'd get the bigger selection and nicer, cheaper games.
Yeah, I mean, getting consoles in general is just so 2000 late,
Consoles are really good for the people who just can't afford computers. So that's the thing.
What happens whenever you can build a PC for cheaper?
Consoles are a good option to have if you are a casual gamer or you don't have the money to go out there and get a gaming laptop or a gaming PC. They're a good option to have.
Like I said, man, you can build a PC for cheaper.
I don't think that I mean, if it is tariffs that are causing this problem, then, oh, shit. Oh, well, not much we can do. But I honestly don't think that it is.
No, it isn't. And the thing about the tariffs is that's all media manufactured outrage. Because we're looking at the economy on a 5-year window, you realize oh my God, the economy took a huge dip, but it's still higher than it was 3 or 4 years ago by a long shot. During 2021, 2024, during those years, the economy was low. It was bad. And then the economy shot up, and now it's down. And then you notice whenever they're saying everything's in the red, everything's gone down, and they'll say it's gone down a certain number of points or a certain percentage of points. They don't tell you where it's actually at, where the Dow is actually at, because it's high. This is all again, they're trying to create this manufactured outrage about the Trump tariffs. Like I said, we have videos of Nancy Pelosi back in the 90s talking about how we need to do reciprocal tariffs with China. It's the only way. And
tariffs exist to get other countries to lower their tariffs. And on top of that, they've always been around. It's nothing new. Yet we have people nowadays saying, "Oh, it is new. It's new. It's something we've never had before." No. Bullshit. We've always had tariffs.
Yeah, and you're talking about the price of stuff might go up because of inflation and tariffs, but like I said, dude, if we're talking about getting rid of all these taxes that we pay, federal income tax, property taxes, technically, like I said, you can fund everything and then some with just tariffs and sales tax, just that. This idea that you have inheritance tax and wealth tax, homeowner tax, property taxes. These are all scams by these private entities that aren't government, and it's all just to get us to be taxed on the same dollar countless times, to where the dollar just is losing so much value because of how many dollars are in circulation, but also because it's a debt-based currency. It's a system designed to fail. And that's the idea. And you got Andrew Jackson. He was the first guy to get rid of the Federal Reserve, and then another Federal Reserve showed up. Kennedy tried to get rid of that one. We saw what happened to him.
It totally blew his mind.
I think we've had 3 Federal Reserves so far. This is the 3rd time a Federal Reserve has been in the United States. And, I think when we get rid of this one, it will be the last one. And we have to educate everybody why this stuff is bad. We have a Treasury Department. We have a branch of government, and their whole job is to handle our money. And they have a backseat to some company. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, the
Very
price
much
of
so.
something going up is going to be, it sounds scary, but like, I think people are underestimating how much extra money people are going to start seeing. Like, I have all this extra money, all this for some reason. I don't understand why. And it's going to be because of all these economic plans that are implemented, So I'm actually excited about the future. I'm not afraid of a $500 video game system. I mean, that sounds like that'd be happening around now, regardless of what's going on in the, socio-political, economic, global infrastructure, world news department. I think all of that's irrelevant.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Scooby, I'm going to take this gap in conversation to go ahead and dip out, as I do have my own show.
Promote yourself.
Plug myself. Well,
yeah,
not in front of everybody. That would just be. 1 second, getting all of the assets loaded. And of course, here's the link to said StarCast that will be happening in 15 minutes. Please wish Levistro a happy birthday, obviously first and foremost. But if you guys want more news, we're covering some Hollywood news, and we're covering some gaming news. So we're going to be talking about how Ubisoft accidentally censored some cybernetic boobies and digital dongs later. Yeah, I find the hot articles. Far Cry 4 of all games. Wild stuff. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and see if I can do this. My voice is getting a wee bit tired, but I think we got it. All right, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Are you tired of the same humdrum day-to-day kind of entertainment? Would you like a little variety in your life? Then please consider subscribing to the Stock of Iron channel, where we have a show for you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for just the low price of hitting the like, share, and subscribe buttons on my little corner of the internet, you too can be whisked away into a magical world of whimsy, entertainment, parody songwriting, character acting, and much, much more. Game shows? Yes. Karaoke's? Yes. Watch parties? Yes, all of this for the price less than a coffee at Starbucks just to become a member for tonight's program. We are going to be covering some Hollywood news here in just a few minutes over there on the Stock of Iron channel. We also have a panel discussion type of program, because who doesn't in this day and age in the wonderful world of the tubes of the Hue? Ladies and gentlemen, this advertisement was brought to you by the fine folks of Grey Tortoise Cigarettes, the Nuka-Cola Corporation, and Iodent Toothpaste, because if you're going to ruin your smile with first 2 products, the least you can do is be an overachiever and bring it on home with a tube of unmitigated bleach and fluoride. Thank you, Scooby Pup, for allowing me to produce this wonderful program here on the podcast, and we will see you all very soon, ladies and gentlemen.
well, thanks for coming on, and
No
we'll see
problem.
you next Saturday, hon.
Yep, and we are also starting some gaming series as well. Moving up in the world. We need 1,500 subscribers. You could be number 1,500. We are so close. It's a sin that we're not there yet. YouTube likes to just scoop them up. They do. They prune in my subscribers as quickly as I find them. You guys have a wonderful rest of your show, and I hope to see some of you over there at that little linky poo right there. You all have a great night, and also check out Late Night Dork Side tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
we're all gonna get a little wet in the pool. I love me a little pool party. That's how we met. All right, later, guys.
Later.
Exciting times.
Oh yeah, extremely. But yeah, I'm glad you see this as something exciting. I mean, personally, I'm not into the Switch 2. I play the Switch with my niece when she asked me to. I'll be sticking with my PlayStation. And like I said, the Switch is primarily a family console. So some of the games that they're bringing over, porting over, I'm surprised that they are bringing. And if it's such a family console system, then why are they putting in, parental controls,
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I mean, that is one of the criticisms of Nintendo is it's too family friendly. The MA games, they're few and far between, I guess, on Nintendo, which is that's a good thing, kind of. But
yeah, and then we saw the accessories, the camera that looked highly pixelated.
I don't know anything about that. I saw the little the Mario plant camera that looked interesting.
That was that the camera they advertised for looked interesting, but it also looked very cheaply made. So
yeah, I mean, as far as that's the other thing about the hardware stuff. It's like when you're talking about games costing $100, it is weird to think of like a downloadable games. These digital only games, like this is just, it's not a good idea.
No,
because when you buy stuff digitally, you're technically not even buying it. You're just renting it long term. At any moment they can just remove these games from libraries and that's the other thing with these online based games, these online based games, like that's another thing. Like, you buy $100 game and there's just not anyone playing it, then it's basically worthless, or maybe there's a lot of people playing it the first few months and then there's a huge drop off. Again, it's like, is it $100 worth it for just a game that's only going to be worth playing for like 2 or 3 months? No way. This is why playing CPU villains and having a solid solo single player version is always good.
Yeah. I once bought a digital game, Skullgirls, and it was made by Konami, and I bought the game and the code and everything like that, and then just one day I woke up to play it and the game was gone.
Awesome.
And yeah, completely, totally gone. I got a hold of Konami. I was like, hey, and I got a hold of PlayStation, broke them both. I was like, hey, I paid for this game. Here's the receipts. And yeah, pretty much got the finger. But yeah, digital games, if you're buying a digital game, you're taking a risk, which is why I like to buy my games. I like to have the physical copy. And if I do have a digital game, I still like to get the physical copy as it is, because you never know when something's going to go wrong.
But I mean, does the Nintendo Switch even have like a way to play anything physical? Like, what do you do? Like a thumb drive or a little card?
It has a game card.
Okay, all right, that's cool. Because that's the other thing. You can't even play some of these games. You can't play if you don't have the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that they did with the Switch 2 now. They've made it so that you have to have a subscription for a lot of the games, especially for online games. You can't play online unless you have a subscription now. It's like they took a look at PlayStation and Xbox and they realized, we'll take Xbox's Game Pass and we'll take PlayStation's subscription thing, and we're going to take those and we're going to put them on the Switch 2. Ugh. Which is exactly what they did.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. The Switch, it's like got this. I do appreciate the fact that it's like it's funner if you play it with someone in real life, like splitting it up and playing, playing your. But that's the thing, is you got to get 2 Switches, right? Is that how that works sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see how they are. Get two game systems.
Yeah, my niece, she has the current Switch, and thank God she knows about the Switch 2, but she doesn't know about any of the release dates or anything like that. Thank God I told my brother, so he knows not to get it. and hopefully her friends won't pressure her, because she's at that beautiful young age where she's learned even how to trick her aunt into doing certain things. Just like the other day, she told my brother that she wants me to take her to go see a movie, and we don't get a chance to go out and see movies together. So this was like a first for me. And he said, and it can be any movie that she chooses. I was like, as long as I can take her. And he goes, yes. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, so what's the movie she wants to see? And he goes, and I hear I hear a long silence, and then I hear Minecraft.
Yeah.
First thing that came out of my mouth was, hell no.
I mean, I don't even understand the lore of Minecraft. I don't understand how you're going to make a movie out of it, but whatever. It's going to be stupid. I hear that the little kids are going to like it. From people who've seen it with kids.
I know 8-Bit Eric and Kata have seen it. They went and saw it together.
Yeah, I heard Kata hated it.
Yeah, 8-Bit Eric was like on it.
Blue Collar saw it and said it was fine for what it was. Said it wasn't, he said that there was just a lot of kids in the audience and they were all enjoying it. So
I don't know anything about the lore for Minecraft. All I'm familiar with is creepers. That's it. That's really all I'm familiar with is creepers and pixelated things that you can build stuff. That's really all I know for Minecraft. And when I asked my niece why she wanted to see the movie, she said she only wants to see the movie so she can hear Jack Black say, "I'm Steve."
I don't know why. What is that?
That's the only reason.
So once that happens, you guys can just get up and leave. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm hoping for that. Then my brother was like,
you should watch the whole movie.
My brother's like, 4 tickets was $50. You're gonna watch that whole movie. I'm like, yeah, I know. My mom's gonna be there, so yeah, I know.
Dude, yeah, I mean, you don't want to be like, was it Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, like doing an angry car video? I walked out of the Snow White movie. It was awful. It's like you didn't even finish it.
I walked out of the theater.
It's like you might as well watch the whole thing. I mean, I specialize in watching terrible movies, so it's like do your worst. Do your worst movie. I've seen it all. I don't care.
Well, you have a higher tolerance.
I watch Hallmark movies for fun.
Yeah, like Meet the Feebles. That was disturbing.
Meet the Feebles is a legitimate classic. It's a legitimate amazing movie. I'm talking more like what did we just watch? Gargantua. That was terrible. The worst thing we've ever watched, I think, was recently on Valentine's Day. We watched this Andy Kaufman movie from the 70s or early 80s called Heart Beeps. It was about 2 robots that fall in love and wander around the woods aimlessly for what felt like forever. Oh my God. And he had John Williams. What was it? John Williams did the score. You've got what's his name? You got Jerry Garcia. Jerry Garcia has a part in the movie where he plays the guitar and does the robot noises for the cute little robot son they have. It was baffling. It was a baffling, strange ass movie, and it was terrible. But I had fun watching it. So,
yeah. This like on the Nintendo Treehouse.
Yeah.
Which took place the day after Nintendo Direct.
Bro, I remember when I was in middle school, they mailed us. They mailed everybody a VHS. Like everybody just got a VHS in the mail. It's like, what's this? It's like a Nintendo 64. You're like, what is this? You put the VHS tape in the VCR and it just plays like a 30-minute promo commercial. Yeah. Like, check out the 3D Mario. Look at the insane graphics.
Yeah, and in the Treehouse, during the Treehouse stream, the chat was flooded with drop the price, drop the price, drop the price.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
no, don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody wants things to be cheaper right now.
Yeah.
It probably just ain't happening. But the thing is, the problem with the inflation is like the price of eggs goes up. So then the price of everything on the menu at a restaurant goes up, right? Mm-hmm. But then the price of eggs goes back down. And then the fuckers at the restaurant, they just keep the price locked at where it is. The price of things rarely go down, even if the economy gets better. So, I mean, you could chuck that up to corporate greed. Because like, well, that's the thing. It's like once someone's willing to pay something for something, then it's officially like worth that much, you know. So like if eggs were costing $100 a pop, that's insane. But if you had people buying them, then guess what? That's what eggs are worth. A video game is worth whatever, you know. Like if they made Grand Theft Auto 6 come out, they're only going to sell 100 copies and they're worth $1 million each. You'd probably sell them, you know. You'd probably get 100 people to buy $1 million game just to say they did. And guess what? That's how much the video game's worth now.
That's my main concern is the precedents it'll set.
Precedents.
That is my primary main concern is the precedents that it'll set for people who are interested in buying games in the future.
Yeah, I think it's just going to make people more selective on the games they choose to buy, which in the long run is just going to hurt the companies. Because that's the thing. It's like when games are affordable. But that's the thing is like, it's difficult to say like how hard, like right now, you know, $600 for a video game system is painful. But in a year or two, because that's the thing is like if the dollar gets more buying power, you know, it's difficult to say, you know, how painful it'll be buying these at this price point in the future. But right now, yeah, it's doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound fun at all. Like if you're gonna charge me $100 for any video game, it better be amazing.
Yeah, it better be so good. It's like indescribable. Yeah, but then again, I mean, when you take a look at games currently right now, like in some cases, the game isn't even worth playing it just because of it'll be putting in a message or it'll be a rushed half-assed game or there's too much DLC or you know, nowadays as far as the games go, asking a price for asking $80 to $90 is just going to damage the gaming industry even more so than it already is right now because I already see the gaming industry as pretty damaged as it is due to all of the consultant agency problems that we had with Gamergate and stuff like that. And then you get the games that get rushed out and aren't complete. And then you have
the woke
loot
games
boxes and stuff.
Yeah, all the woke games that are just what is it? Just lecturing players. That's not fun.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Nintendo, I don't think does that too much.
But with the games that they're porting over, that's gonna start happening. For them, they're gonna start experiencing that stuff with the fact that they're porting over certain games. And
well, you know, you get people that just people who just kind of tuned out of movies. They'll start doing that for some of these consoles and video games. You know, they'll just stop caring. Sports, you know.
Yeah, like they're bringing over the EA stuff. I felt sorry for them when they said Madden and EA. As soon as they saw that appear on the screen, I started laughing. I was like, I was like, EA must be fucking desperate.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, it's they're video games. They're just a fun little thing to pass your time. They shouldn't be, you know, like when you talk about like video game collections, when you think about like you have like a dozen or so games, you know, that shouldn't be like, you know, thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Thousands of dollars worth.
Especially when you don't even like physically have them, you know, like on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to pay, like their digital games are going to be $80. That is their set precedence for the digital games. I'm sorry, not worth it. I could love Nintendo to the highest heaven. I still would not pay that much. Even if I adore the Mario IP, I still would not pay that much for a digital game. And the fact that they set it for $90 for all their games. I'm sorry. No. Again, I'm not paying for it. It's just not something I'm willing to do. It's too pricey. Hey,
and what's up, Cass? Yeah, the more people that are willing, though, that just kind of makes it harder to push back on it.
Yeah. So, but I'm hoping this doesn't set too much of a precedence, and I think we're going to see a lot more of the whole blaming tariffs for everything in the future.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see a lot of that.
I mean, but I mean, it's all noise. It's all misdirection. So, you got people that are like outraged right now, and they're angry because the TV told them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you gonna do?
Monkey see, monkey do. Well, we've reached our 90 minutes. It was great having you on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And
yeah, I mean, I'm planning on driving back home tomorrow.
Awesome.
Hopefully I'll be back in time to be on Sammy's In Other News show at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I might be a little late, who knows? And then, theoretically, I should be doing a special Tales from the Dork Side episode where we do another pool party. We're going to watch a bunch of weird, as many as we can of these WON entertainment fan fiction Supergirl simulated drowning in a pool videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's perfectly fine. You'll get it. You'll get the gist of what we're doing once we start.
Yeah, it may sound very, very awkward.
It's a dark corner of the internet that I stumbled upon.
A couple of times. I've been on Stupendo Cast a couple of times, and believe me, they're funny.
I like to say, sometimes, there's always some weird video you find on the internet and someone's always seen it. This is one of the few times where I found something that nobody's heard of. What is this? And I'm like, I don't know. And as we've watched the last 15 of these, there's quite some lore that we've figured out and realized. And I mean, I'm just excited to see where the journey goes, because we're currently because these videos have been made for like the past 15 years or something like that. And now we're currently in like middle of the pandemic. So these videos are coming out 2021, 2020, this kind of time. So we're catching up to the present, which is interesting. And once we do finish all these pool party videos, I do plan to do a special expose on the creators of this filth. So that'll be interesting, but that probably won't be tomorrow. That'll probably be in the next pool party. Basically, anytime there's a development in the Superman movie news wise, I kind of want to just turn that into an excuse to do another pool party. So I think I think it's gonna be fun, and I'm hoping to go get some food tonight and
chow down.
Visit this windy town. It is windy. I could barely open the freaking door to this hotel. It's thunderous. It's creepy. I'm in the middle of Tornado Alley. It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really. Okay, so when it comes to traveling, I've only been to California. As far as the United States goes, I've been to California. I've been to Texas. I've been to Florida. I've been to New York, North Carolina, Virginia.
You've been around. You've been around. This is like my third time in Oklahoma.
And I think maybe I've left the country twice.
Oh yeah, I've been all over Mexico.
Yeah, I have been to Mexico too. I've been to Spain twice and Mexico once.
Yeah, well.
Although I was tiny when it came to Mexico. For Mexico, I was only there for like a freaking day, and my dad loved it.
Yeah.
It gave him the chance to do one of his favorite things, and that's barter.
Nice. Bartering, haggling. Hell yeah. I mean, I'm excited about the future. And if you guys are into the whole Mystery Science Theater thing, check out my channel. It's got a whole lot of movies that we've watched and made fun of. So it's very fun. And yeah, I'm hoping to have some more dinosaur themed movies coming out soon. I know me and Sammy.
I got some listed for you as soon as I saw.
Yeah,
that.
me and Sammy are going to watch Prehysteria. I realized that I'm going to also do Theodore Rex starring Whoopi Goldberg. We just had this one called Gargantua, which was a terrible 1998 Matthew Broderick Godzilla knockoff. So yeah, some weird ass movies that you guys have never even heard of probably. And if you have, you forgot about them.
Well, thanks for coming onto the show. Like I said, Cass,
of course.
Shame you just woke up. But, you know, Cassie, there's always a chance for you to come onto the show.
Yeah, well, waking up at 5:30 is baller, you know. You go to bed at 7 a.m., 9, 10 a.m.
Yeah, she's a busy girl.
Yeah, nocturnal.
But you got to love her. You got to love her for that.
All right.
Anyways, thanks for coming on. As far as I go, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m., Scooby Pups Parkade. I'm going to try and keep up with that. Sorry, I haven't been doing that recently, folks. I'm going to finish up my Yuito very hard mode run and pick up to a different game. Maybe I might play RoboCop. It depends. I'm not good with first person shooters, so I have to make sure it doesn't make me feel sick.
Make you nauseous. Oh my god, they do.
Yeah. So
Cool.
otherwise I may play a different game. We'll figure it out. I'll set up a poll and we'll figure something out. Cassie,
right.
maybe next time, maybe next weekend you can come on, or the weekend after. Let me know, girl.
Yeah, Cassie, come hang out on Dorkside. Hit me up.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to see her on Dorkside. So thanks for watching. See you guys next weekend, 5 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for coming to the doghouse.
Totally.